Guess what day it is? For me, it's snow day. So I run and own my own residential and commercial cleaning business. And today, instead of being at my client, I am actually home working, which allows me to record this video today. So as a cleaning business owner, I believe that you deserve to earn great money too, equal to your knowledge, expertise, and elbow grease. I also believe earning great pay starts with solid, non-negotiable policies and standards for your licensed professional business. Things that are in line with your lifestyle, your goals, your company size, and the like. So if you are ready to get started, go ahead and drop me a thumbs up. For those of you who are new here to our community, hi, I am Stephanie, and I teach people how to keep their homes cleaner with less effort. And I also teach aspiring cleaning professionals like myself and yourself learn the skills to earn great money on a part-time basis. The first policy that I'm going to go over is my sick day policy. When I first meet a client and we have agreed to do our first cleaning, I always let them know that I do have a sick day policy. If I am ill, I will text you immediately and let you know that I am sick, and I'll go ahead and schedule another date immediately, but I will not come to your home if I am not feeling well. The reason I do this is to protect you and your family here, because I have clients that are very sensitive or elderly or infants and things like that. And I need to protect all of my clients across the board. And rather than going from house to house to house, carrying germs, I choose to not carry my germs from house to house. And likewise, if you are ever not feeling well, please text me right away before your visit. I don't even care if I'm in the car driving to you. I would prefer us to go ahead and reschedule. I will make a day that works, and I will even possibly work outside of my traditional schedule in order to make that happen. So never fear, you are still my priority, but our health overall is a bigger priority. So I hope that you can agree with that. And I have never had a client that has said, like, no, I don't, I don't understand. Everyone has understood, everyone has appreciated it, and it's a solid policy that I will always have as long as I have a cleaning business. Now, some of these policies have grown over time. I did not have all of these policies on day one when I first started. This is one that I have accumulated over time, essentially. So I have a no power, no heat, no water policy. So if the client does not have heat in their home, if they do not have electricity for me to plug in a vacuum and vacuum, and they don't have running water or clean running water, I cannot perform the job. I am a licensed, bonded, insured professional who my name and my business are everything to me. I don't want to do a poor job for you and then for you to share that with the world and say, Stephanie's business sucks because, but when in fact I couldn't do the job because there was no clean water, there were no, electricity where I could see what I was doing. So many times you might have like a move in, move out cleaning where the people, they don't have electricity, but they don't think about those things before they line everything up. So make sure that you do have power and you do have heat and you do have water, unless you are doing a post-construction clean, for example, you might not have those things, but that's a completely different level of service. I myself have not even gotten into. Now, something that I have tried to do from the beginning is be in good contact with my clients. I wouldn't say constant contact, but contact them when you are on your way for the first time. I like to text them and say, hi, I got in the car, plugged your address into my GPS. It's saying I should arrive right around 2:17 p.m., barring any traffic incidents. That gives them a really good time of when you're going to be there. Maybe they need to hop in the shower. Maybe they need to get home because maybe they're not even at the address. By giving them that ETA, that's letting them know that you care. But then I also, if I have not previously in our communication, I will also send them my digital business card, which is just a pic collage image. If you are interested in learning how to create one, just drop the words biz card or business card down in the comment section below, and I'll know that there's enough interest for me to invest the time in sharing how to do that. But it's super easy, and I'm happy to share if you're interested. So, and then I also will confirm the desired tasks on this text too, if I know that the client is not going to be home. A lot of times they'll either leave a key for you, or they'll give you a passcode to the door or something, or they've got a lockbox, and they'll give you all those instructions at that time. Usually I will also, in that text, just really quick ask, is there a specific place that I can park? Being that you are unloading supplies and whatnot, I always recommend asking, is it possible for you to save a space in your driveway at the end of the driveway for me, or is there street parking immediately in front of your home? Something like that. Just so that way you get all of those instructions and you're not like, trying to do it as you're getting there. But yeah, I also will just real quick, what are your areas of focus today is the question that I will ask them if I've never cleaned that for them before, because especially if they are only booked for 2 hours or 3 hours or something like that, you're certainly not going to be cleaning a 5-bedroom house, 4-bathroom house, multiple kitchens. Like, you're not going to be doing all of that in a matter of 4 hours. So you're going to want to know what your areas of focus are for those 3, 4, whatever hours that they booked. Now, another non-negotiable policy that I always have if I get to a brand new client's house and they are home is I always like to do an initial walkthrough with the client. We just walk from room to room, and then they can show me their areas of concern. That's usually the conversation that I will ask is, what are your biggest areas of concern? Usually people will tell you, like, it's the dust, it's the, this floor, I can never seem to get it as clean. They will tell you their issues or things that they are most concerned about, where you can spend more of your time and focus, especially if you are on a limited time or they're on a limited budget. So that way you can honor what bugs them the most and make them the most happy. If on this walkthrough your client is not on a budget and they say, nope, we want it all done, you just tell us how long it's going to take. And then I will go ahead and book accordingly, or just work accordingly with the clients. I have had clients where I literally met them the first day of my deep clean, which ended up taking 2 whole days because they had a lot of stuff going on. They were moving in and boxes everywhere, and it was a phased in deep cleaning. But now we are, very cogs on a wheel. We kind of have our systems down, which is fantastic. So, but just good communication with your clients and letting them know where you're at as far as what they want done, checking in with them. And usually when I take them on a walkthrough at the end of our first service, I'll just point out, so your TV up there, I was able to dust really nice up there for you. And I'll just go through and I'll just kind of spit it off really quick of I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this, I dusted under your beds. We, used XYZ on this surface or that surface. And then I just kind of go room to room with them and just explain what I did, what I used, and move on and move on and move on. Because that way, one, that's going to alleviate the phone call or text or email or however the contact is when they have questions or they have issues. So the other non-negotiable policy that I have is we always collect payment at the end of the visit, at the very end, unless the people have, I walked in before where they're like, okay, well, here's your money and that's what we're prepared to pay you. And then they might slide me a tip at the end because they see the work and they're really impressed and they appreciate the effort. Most folks, though, will pay me at the end. I will tell them what it is. We've agreed on how they're going to pay, whether they're invoicing, whether they're Venmoing, whatever you are comfortable with. As far as payment goes, I will never, ever accept a personal check, except for there were a couple of elderly clients that I literally knew that they were, trustworthy and credit-worthy folks. So, and I knew how to track them down and get my money if need be, if the check was bad. But if you have completed your job and folks have not paid you, that is considered theft of service. And you can, at least in the United States and probably many countries throughout the world, you can, take them to court essentially. And one, if they don't pay, you don't come back for another service again. But yes, you can take them to a small claims court. You do not have to hire an attorney or anything. And you just provide any documentation, text, emails, things like that, invoices, and you just bring those in and then they, they issue judgment and go from there. So it does take time out of your life. So it's not always a convenient thing to do, but if it's worth it for you to go into the small claims and file the report, and it might just be just to have it documented so these folks don't do that to other people again. But that is always recourse if you do not have that. Now, I have never in my life had a problem where folks did not pay me. I have had clients that did not pay me right away. They forgot about their invoice, but their invoice was a month before. So I would have to just remind them that before your next service date at the date and the time, please make sure that your credit card payment does go through the invoice so I can provide service to you because you are a valued client. So that's usually what I will do is just end on a good note and say, I appreciate you. I want to keep you as a client, but clients pay their bills. So it's just a kind way to say it. And there are ways to do things without being nasty and without having bad feelings or a bad situation or a bad relationship with your client. And then the other policy, as far as residential clients, I always make sure to pre-book my next appointment at the end of the current appointment. So as soon as I am packing up, I'm taking my gloves off, washing my hands, putting everything in my bag, and I'm grabbing the payment from the client really quick, and I say real quick, do you want me, like, can we pencil you in for your next appointment? I'm going to suggest that, and then I always make a suggestion of when they should have their next appointment. Most families need me every 1 to 2 weeks, but if it's just like one lady living by herself with no animals and it's really not like a dusty home. Some windows can be very like drafty and they'll get more dust in. And then some homes just don't get the dust and the bugs and stuff like that. So just use your best judgment. But what I will say is, I would recommend we do every 2 weeks for your appointment. I do have Tuesday at this or Thursday at this. Which one do you prefer? And then we'll go ahead and pencil them in. And then I'll say, well, since my calendar does book up, do you want me to go ahead and just set you up every 2 weeks going forward on that, Tuesday or whatever. And most people will say, yes, please, because then just text me a reminder before you come. And that's usually what we do. So that's what I would recommend. I don't recommend going on a 3-week rotation because that can mess you up on your calendar control. So if you've got a lot of people that are 1 week, 2 weeks, or 4 weeks, that's really the only rotation. But anything past 3 weeks is always, for me, considered a deep clean because all of it is going to essentially need to be deep cleaned again. Even in a single person by themselves, no animals, every 4 weeks is still going to be a deep clean. So thanks for tuning in with me today on my snow day as I'm working from home and cooking all the things and baking all the things and cleaning all the things in my own house. I'm my own client today. So I am always here to support your growth and to help you in any way that I can. So please stay connected with us by subscribing. And if you have not already, hit that thumbs up and stay connected with us because we are here to cheer you on and see us all succeed.